Hi, I'm Subu bringing crafting to you, and today we're going to make a couple of Christmas cards using the Snowflake Wishes and also Perfectly Plaid. So I'm going to show you one way of doing it and another way, but it will be the same layout. So what we're going to do is start off with a normal card base that is your 8 1/4 by your 5 7/8. Okay, it is the same as what I normally do. So we're just going to fold that in half and burnish. Okay, and I've got a piece of shaded spruce, and the piece of shaded spruce is 3 7/8 by 5 5/8. Oh, that's totally off, sorry. So we're going to mount that onto our card base, so make sure we've got the right way. So that'll give us a lovely increment all the way round. Just make sure you've got your card base opening the right way. So I'm just going to put glue all around this now. Now, if you've been shopping a while with Stampin' Up, then you will have collected some of the free DSP that they have done, and they did a lovely one January, February, that was Berry Blessings. So it had got like a plaid on one side and berries on the other. Well, I think the plaid's quite lovely for Christmas. So this is a piece that is 3 7/8 by 2 inches. Now, I'm going to show you alternatives, so bear with me. So this is one way of doing it, and then I'm going to show you with the snowflakes to do it another. But I want to give you some tips along the way as well. So the Perfectly Plaid, you've got a beautiful punch that goes with this. And to get the best from your punch, you want to punch it out quite tightly to the next tree that you've done to get the maximum out of your card. Now the problem is, once you've done this, then it can be a problem getting it stamped. So there, it's a photopolymer, so that's no problem. You can match this up to your tree, but if you've got a stamping apparatus or any form of stamping platform, you will be able to do this. Now I'm just going to do that because cutting the edge off because I want to get as close as possible to the last tree so that I can get the maximum out of my card. And I keep dropping them on the floor, apologies. Okay, so I've got 2 trees cut out. Now I want to show you how to do this with your stamping apparatus. So if you set up, you've cut out your tree, and it doesn't matter, it doesn't need to be square or anything. So I've cut a tree out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in my stamping platform. So your stamping apparatus, stamping platform. And I'm going to get this lovely, I fell in love with this. I think it's gorgeous. I'm going to get the stamp. It's this one. It is so beautiful. I didn't realise how lovely it was. So I'm going to make sure that I put that in the middle of my it needs to go the other way. You think it is even, but it's not. So just make sure that you get it the correct way. So I've had to turn mine around now to get it the correct way. I'm just gonna bring it down fractionally. There we go. And then I'm just going to pick that up. I'll press down and pick it up because I've got it stuck to the bottom and I've not put card in. That's done it. Okay, and then all you've got to do, so I've got that template now, is I'm going to slot my Christmas tree into that. So whichever way it needs to go, as I say, just fit it like a jigsaw puzzle in there. And then I'm inking up with shaded spruce. So I've got it up there. So I'm just going to ink up with shaded spruce. And I just think it is absolutely lovely. So I'm going to make sure that's there and then just press down, hold it, and then I'm going to flick that off. Now look at the detail in there. Isn't that beautiful? It is absolutely gorgeous. It looks as though I should have gone over a tad more with my stamp, but it'll be fine. And then I'm going to put another one in. Make sure, as I say, fit it in like a jigsaw puzzle. Just I'm going to bring it over actually, so I'm going to wipe this off and just bring it over. That's it, just get that there. I'm just going to bring it a tad further over. So I'm just going to try and get in there and see whereabouts I want it. And go for committing just there, and hopefully I've done it in the right place. Okay, and just doesn't matter that I've got some ink on there because of how the actual stamp is, it will be fine. So just inking that up and then bring that back down. Hopefully I've got it more central this time. Yes, that's better. I've got it more central, so I'm happier with that. I can't do the back. Oh, can I? I don't know, because my stamp... Well, actually, I think I will. I've turned it over, turned my stamp over. So now I've got to wipe my stamp up again and reposition this. Wipe that up and then see if I can slot this in again. No, it's because it should be the other way round. I can't do it that way, so I'll have to leave it because it's not equal, so you can't turn it over. It needs to come that little bit further on that way. And yeah, it won't. Let's see if I can, whether it's going to ruin it. It might ruin it, but I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for re-stamping a little bit further this way. I'm gonna just poke that out a little bit. Sit it up there. Poke it out. And what I'm going to aim to do is only just ink down one side, and we'll see if I can do it. So pop that back in there, and then I'm just going to ink down that very edge, just patting it very lightly on that edge, and just see whether I can bring that edge a little bit closer. Have I managed it? Yes, I think I've got away with that. I'm happier with that now. Okay, it's come closer to the edge. That's one way of doing it. Right, so I've got my 2 trees stamped now for each card. So we'll put that away now. Well, I'll just put it on the top of there. And then this is the layering, what they call stitched nesting labels that we don't do anymore, but I've managed to purchase some, and what I tend to do with this is put it on its side so that it can lock up against there. Fix it in with your magnets, and then I'm going to position my Merry Christmas wonky so that it's straight on my label but it's wonky, and then pick that up, of course, fix it back in position. You could just stamp on this. If you don't have a stamping platform, you can just stamp on these. You don't have to use a stamping platform. It's that you've got guarantees when you've got a stamping platform to get it in the same place if it's not dark enough for you. But I'm happy with that. That's lovely. Okay, so we've got that. Just move that out of the way. And we're going to bring this back in. And then I'm just going to mount this so it's equal distance from top and bottom, and I'll just glue that down. Because you're sending lots of Christmas cards through the post, you don't want it to be too bulky, so I'm going to match that up, top and bottom. And then my tree, I'm just going to stick some dimensionals on my tree. I'll just pick up some dimensionals. I've got a load started somewhere. Where have I started them? I've lost them. Well, no, they're there. There we go. I know I've got a load started. I've put some in because I know I'm getting low on these. So I'm going to... There we go. And I have got a mini. So I'm going to look. Where's the minis? Just put them down. There we go. Just get a mini. I'm just going to put the mini. Oh, I forgot to do the trunk, didn't I? Oh dear. Now I'm going to see if I can be clever and do this while this is on here now. That was foolish of me. Right, so you've got a little trunk, and I'm just going to pick up my... Let's take this off a minute. I'm going to just have the trunk, and I'm just doing that with Early Espresso. So just going to get that, and hopefully it will work and I can get it in the right position. And there, I've managed it. Whew. So that can go off there. Just peel those and do that. So this set, the Merry Christmas and the tree, is from Perfectly Plaid, so that's beautiful there. But I'm going to show you how to make the same card with current things. So there's this beautiful die in the Snowflake, so many snowflakes dies, I think it's called, and I did cut myself a piece of have I moved it? Where have I got? Oh, I know, that one I cut, and I did cut for it. Right, all you've got to do is have a piece that is just bigger than the snowflake die. What did I cut it at? Oh, I'm terribly disorganised today. Sorry, I'm feeling under the weather, and when you feel under the weather, you lose your organisation skills. I don't know why. Okay, so I'm going to put this in at let's do I'll do 2 3/4. So I'm going to go 2 3/4, and I'm just going to make sure it's bigger than the die by about, we'll say 4.5. Okay, I'm then going to just cut this out using my mini die machine. So I'll just put it through very quickly. So I'm just going to get that on there. Just make sure it's centralised. Okay, and then just going to put it through my die cutting machine. And just pull it out. Now, I don't really want it to take out. I want to leave it in like that. So keep it in like that. And then we're going to use the actual guide of the stitching. So there is stitching all the way down here. Now what I'm going to do is put it in my trimmer, and I'm going to use, so I'm going to use this part where it is here. I'm going to use that as a guide. So it's my plastic bit I'm going to use as a guide. So I'm going to put it in my trimmer, but I'm going to make sure that that plastic guide, I'll have to have a look to make sure. So the plastic guide is right on my stitching here. I'm sorry for the poor light. So it's going to be on the stitching there. So make sure that that's absolutely level, and then just cut up. And then turn it sideways, and you again going to look for the edge, the stitched edge on there. So the stitched edge on there, I'm going to marry that up again with my trimmer edge. So I'm going to make sure that that stitching is there, and just cut that off so that it's leaving me a little border. And again, I'm going to put that edge, so it's leaving me a border all the way round. So just make sure that you've got that stitched edge there, and then do the same on each of the sides, just using your trimmer as the guide. And this will give you practically the same size. So there we go. It will practically give you the same size as what my original die cut out. So if you can see from my original card, it's practically the same size. So it works perfectly, and you've got added interest. So to save time, I've actually put it in and done exactly what I did before, and have done my Merry Christmas. Now it doesn't matter if bits fall out, that's fine, but as long as you keep the most of it intact. So for the actual banner that goes across the top, this bit here, let's just show you this bit here. This is 2 inches by 3 7/8. Now you can actually, and this is what I had done, I'd done a piece that was exactly that size, ready to stamp, and then stamp this piece instead of stamping this piece. But I'm just going to cut this piece down now. So I just used the beautiful snowflakes that are together in the Snowflake Wishes. So it's just this one that comes, it's showing you that cluster there, and I've just used those, and they're really rather pretty. So I'm just going to cut this down now to my 2 inches. So I'm going to cut that down to 2 inches. So it's so simple to do, just keep moving it about, 2, 3 and 7, 8. So that has done my border now, and that is going to go on the back there like that. I just need a card base. Oh, I've put my card base away. So my card base is just a standard card base. So I'm just going to glue that down. So I'm getting too hot now as well. So we'll just get this glued down. So this is how to actually think outside the box. So when dyes have stopped being current, that you can replace what you love with other dyes that are current. So I'm just kind of showing you some alternatives. And when you can't do the same DSP, you can use other DSPs, or you can always make your own like I have, and I think this looks rather pretty. So again, it's shaded spruce that I've done it in. So that it's just going halfway really, so it just goes, and I'm only eyeballing it, I'm not measuring it. As long as it's straight, that's fine. Then I'm going to put this on top, so I'm going to make sure that I glue all around the edges to catch it in with that. Whoops. So that's going to just go in the middle, eyeballing top and bottom to make sure, and the sides to make sure that's level. And as I say, it doesn't matter if you're not exact, just a rough. Okay, and then this time my tree, I am going to stamp the little trunk on, and I just think these are so pretty. Just love the trunk. So just go over the top, just take that away, and I just think that looks really lovely. So look at the detail, it's gorgeous. So I'm just going to put a mini on the trunk at the bottom, and then a couple of the bigger dimensionals down the centre here, and then take these off. And you can stamp with whatever you like sentiment inside. I've got lots of lovely sentiments to do, so I can do those later, but I just wanted to show you the way of doing it. So that's current. The tree, and of course the Merry Christmas, because this is from the Perfectly Plaid, and the punch, of course, that's current, but the DSP and this die are not. This, making your own DSP and turning your die into the same shape as this one, is all current. So 2 cards. Which do you prefer? I like them both, so I'd be interested to know what you think is better. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, stay well. Bye.